Coaches, what's up? We're back here for Conquer Athlete Coaches Corner. And I want to talk to you guys today about volume. And I think volume is this like never-ending discussion that we can have with ourselves as coaches as we reflect with our athletes, but also our athletes. And we have to look at volume in another sort of way, right? So as people first come into the sport, and like really any sport, right? There comes a point where we have to really monitor the volume, make sure they're getting the right things in place to develop the foundation to be better at that. Then there's going to come a stage through their resiliency and structure that we can continually add more volume because their bodies can sustain it. But then they come a point as their training and biological age increases that we have to almost take the volume back and be more focused and intentful on each thing because too much volume can offset them. So understanding who your athlete is and where they are, and that can help you understand how much and what sort of volume they can hold. Think about it with sports. You might recognize or hear stories of like the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans, how they would come in and they were at this certain young peak age and they would all just be training so hard. But then there comes a point where their body can't sustain that constant pounding and wear and tear. So now the volume has to come down, but it's more intense and or intentful to coincide with their body's ability to recover as that biological age and training age increases. So their stuff might switch into more of the craft or skill or the craftsmanship of the sport and game. And that can take part with inside the sport of fitness as well. We have to build the structure, we have to build the stabilization, we have to build the strength and the power and all the foundations that we need, the aerobic, the anaerobic threshold, the aerobic threshold, the aerobic capacity, all the foundations we need for each component. Once we have those foundations, depending on the person, we can then look to bring up the volume depending on who they are and what they can sustain, and keep teaching them about the resiliency and the fortitude and the body's ability to sustain more. But then there's going to come a point where we can't just keep piling and piling and piling. We have to be understanding, okay, we have to get them, we have to hit the right stimulus, the minimal essential strain, right? Hit the right stimulus, give them time to recover, depending on who they are and what they need, and then re-engage based off that next focus. Okay? And that's so important to understand that, okay, are we getting reps to build upon the reps, meaning like running, right? If we're looking to run and build up to long distance, we have to get the reps on their feet and get them running more and more, not necessarily faster, but more. But after we've built that huge base, that huge capacity, we can then bring the volume down, possibly add just more intensity, right? Not as much volume, but there's still that huge underlying aerobic capacity, aerobic threshold that we can build upon the ability to sustain now higher heart rates for long amounts of time. So understand who your athlete is and what they're needed for that game of volume, and make sure you're putting in the right amounts for them. Hope that helps. See you guys next week.